What's going on, guys? This is Damien from The Lookout and I'm here with something phenomenal. This is Chang's second place Green King Piccolo deck profile. This is the King Piccolo that took second place on the Asian Regionals event. Yeah, we have the full deck list here. Let's go over it. But guys, before we begin this video, please hit that like and subscribe button, share the video, help us grow our community. And of course, speaking of events, our sponsor for today is us. Zenkai Showdown 2, 22nd of April in Poland, Poznan live event. It's our event, we're gonna have the best prizes in Europe. We still have some tickets, go check them out, link is in the description below. Now, roll the video. Here it is, guys, the King Piccolo deck, the Green King Piccolo deck, which took second place at the Asia Regionals. So I believe that this is the first time that we're actually doing a Green King Piccolo deck profile. So I will be just going over the leader first and I'll try to explain briefly what each card does for the leader. So on the front side, 10k King Piccolo. Auto, add one card from your life to your hand. When he attacks, you draw one, and then you play up to one Green Demon Clan with an energy cost of 2 and 10k power from your hand. So he's basically a self-awakener who plays Demon Clan cards. He awakens at 4 or less, or when you have 3 or more Demon Clan cards with an energy cost of 2 or more in play. And then you draw one and you switch one energy to active mode. On his awakened side, permanent, when one of your Namekian or Demon Clan cards would be KO'd by an opponent's skill, you may place one Demon Clan card from your Z energy in your drop instead. So he offers insane protection against stuff that isn't minusing your cards to death, basically. He offers incredible protection. Then auto. When this card attacks, draw one and then play up to one Piccolo Jr. or Demon Clan, both green and with an energy cost of 3 or less and 15k power or less from your hand. So if you caught anything, it's the thing that this deck really swarms the board a lot. It's super aggressive. So let's just dive into it and see what these different cards do. First on our list, 4 copies of the most important card in the deck, King Piccolo Seal Undone. This is your big draw engine. I mean, like, big draw engine. It's your draw engine, basically. It's not a big card. 4k barrier. Auto. If you have a Demon Clan card in your battle area, when this card is played, you draw one. When it's played from hand. Auto limit 1. If your leader is a Green King Piccolo, when you play a Green Demon Clan with an energy cost of 2 or more using a skill, draw one and add 1 life from your life area to your hand. So this is also a self-awakener. It works great with your leader because it really helps you awaken early and you're drawing a lot of cards. Then we have 2 copies of Piano, Faithful Aid. Piano is a 1 cost 5k Demon Clan card, which says when this card is played, look at the top 5 and add up to 1 Namekian or Demon Clan with an energy cost of 4 or less, or 1 Green Unison with an energy cost of 2 to your hand. So this is basically your tutor. You can play Piano with your unawakened leader side because this is a Demon Clan, but you can't, I believe you can't play King Piccolo Seal Undone. Yeah, you can't play the first 1-drop with your leader. You can only play the second one. Then we go into Demon Clan cards. 4 copies of Tambourine. Tambourine is a 10k and he basically has an effect that when you play him you draw a card, and then when you play him you need to pay 1 green to draw a card, and then when he is played you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less and KO it. This is your hard removal. Other than that, we also have 3 copies of Symbol. Symbol is cool. I really like Symbol. Symbol is your engine for big wide swings because he says he's a 10k 2-cost Demon Clan. When this card attacks, choose up to 2 of your Demon Clan cards in your battle area and they gain plus 5k for the turn. So for the entirety of the turn, just flat out plus 5k. And he also has an auto for 1 energy. If your leader is King Piccolo, when this card is used in a combo, choose up to one of your leaders and it gains double strike. So this is semi-champa now, because he gives plus 5k and double strike for 1 energy, which is okay, but it only works with your leader. Then we have 4 copies of Drum, Demonic Subordinate. Drum is also hard removal. He is 15k free cost Demon Clan blocker. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. Just flat KO something, doesn't matter the cost. Doesn't ignore barrier, but it just flat out KO something. Auto. When this card is placed in a drop area from your Z energy, remove it from the game. So, when you're using your leader's permanent to negate a KO on one of your Demon Clan cards, and you use your Drum from Z energy to pay for this permanent, he's removed from the game. Activate battle, limit 1. If your leader is a Green King Piccolo or Piccolo Jr. card with an original power of 15k, use this card in a combo from your drop. At the end of the battle, send this card from your drop to your warp. So this was back in Zenkai 1 when Bandai wasn't sure about charging Z energy. So this is more of a prevention so that you can't just infinitely combo with this guy and charge him into your Z energy. Today we see more restrictive, less restrictive conditions like this, where you can just combo with something from the drop and charge it into Z energy. It is what it is, but once again, this is a free cost 15k hard removal who is also a blocker, and that's phenomenal. Next on our list, 3 copies of the Negate of Piccolo Jr. So 3 copies of Piccolo Jr. This one says what? It says barrier, counterattack, limit 1. If your leader is a Green King Piccolo, negate the attack and play this card. So you just flat out negate an attack and you play a blocker. We are seeing more and more of cards like this, because he also has a permanent which allows him to play itself for free. So it's one of those counter attack blockers, negate one and then just play it. Permanent is when your life is at 3 or less and you have a King Piccolo or Demon Clan card, both with an energy cost of 2 or more in your battle area. You can activate its counter skill without paying its cost. This is the biggest problem with this one, because it requires a lot to be played without having the energy paid for it, like 3 lives or less, but still it's basically a free negate. It's an in-archetype free negate, which also works with your Fated Rival, and that's very, very good. Now let's dive into the next card, which is the big boss monster of the deck, King Piccolo, newly youthful conqueror. Okay, so this guy allows so much. For 1 energy, evolve. First off, he's a 4 cost 20k. For 1 energy, evolve over a King Piccolo. Cost doesn't matter, just needs to go over King Piccolo. Auto, limit 1 for 1 green energy. If your leader is this leader and you have 2 or more energy, when you play a Demon Clan card using a skill, play this card from your hand. So just ignore the evolve cost. Whenever you have 2 or more energy and you cheat something in with your leader's effect, for example, you can pay 1 and play your 20k guy. Awesome. Then auto, limit 1, when this attack, switch this card to active mode, so he's technically a 20k dual attacker, then choose up to 2 green Demon Clan cards in your battle area and they gain plus 5k for the turn. Remember, Symbol also gives 5k. This guy gives 5k, so if you have him and Symbol on the field, you're basically giving plus 10k to your Demon Clan cards. That allows you to create a very, very hard swing with a wide board. Now we have some similar faces. Goku Fated Rival, Piccolo Fated Rival. These are staples in every green deck. The only thing worth noting here is that you can play Piccolo without Goku this time around, because Piccolo has evolved for 2 energy over Piccolo Jr. with an energy cost of 3 or more, and that is your free negate. So if you don't have Goku 1 and you Goku out and you desperately need to get your Piccolo out, you can just play him over the negate, if the negate is still on the field. Now we're diving into very familiar territory. 4 copies of the Super Combo. Then we have 4 copies of Charismatic Villain. These are all staples. 1 copy of Dark Broly, Heartless Berserker. This is the Overwhelm staple of choice. 4 copies of Piccolo Guardian of Earth. This one is great because you can actually fetch it with your King Piccolo Seal Undone, because it also looks for a unison. No, not King Piccolo, Piano. Piano looks for a unison of 2 cost. So this is basically the card that you're getting from your tutor. It's one of the better green unisons because it draws and it's huge. And yeah, very, very good basically. Then we have another staple. That's what I wanted to say. We have more staples. 4 copies of Dormant Potential Unleashed, 3 copies of Homicidal Clones, and the SCR is Pan. And Pan makes a lot of sense in this deck, because Pan has this permanent. For each battle card in play, you can reduce her energy cost in your hand by 2, and you will be playing a ton of battle cards. As you can see, like, you will just be spamming battle cards. Nothing here has unique, so you'll just be playing them like crazy. Yeah, actually, yeah, nothing has unique. So just go crazy. Go crazy with these cards. So let's move on to the Z deck. The Z deck is starting with the Z Leader. So Z Awaken, when your life is at 2 or less. This was always the issue with the Z Leader. It's super risky to go to 2 or less, but in return you get a lot of power. So your life has to be 2 or less, and there are 1 or more King Piccolo cards in your drop. And then he awakens over Green King Piccolo or over Green Piccolo Jr. Permanent. He has 2 permanents. Your Green Namekian and Demon Clan cards get plus 5k power. So he boosts himself by 5k, and now you have 5k from the leader, 5k from Symbol, 5k from King Piccolo 4-drop. So you can actually boost your entire field by 15k. The other permanent is if a King Piccolo card is in your Z energy, this card gets plus 5k and critical during your turn. So during your turn, he's 25k critical Z leader. That's very, very scary. And he also has an activate main. Once per turn, you can play 1 green Demon Clan card with an energy cost of 3 or less from your hand. So it just keeps swarming the field. This one is extremely powerful. The only reason why I think it never saw play is because it's 2 lives or less for 15k. But other than that, yeah, now you see how this deck wins. Just plus 15k's all across the board. We have 2 copies of Jiren. Jiren is an amazing unison removal. Jiren is here to protect some of your key cards. Not much to say, this is a staple in green Z decks. We also have 3 copies of Frieza. Because you are discarding a lot in this deck, you do have 3 copies of Fated Rival Piccolo. So when you pair him with Frieza and you have a lot of attackers, you will be discarding cards. And you're charging a lot of Z energy, so it just makes sense to have Frieza out. And finally, to drop yourself to Awakening Lives or to Z Awakening Lives, you have 1 copy of SSB Vegeta Surmounting the Impossible. And let's briefly check out the side deck. We have 2 copies of Golden Frieza Newfound Might. We have 2 copies of Dodoria Brimming with Power. 4 copies of Dark Power Black Mask Saiyan. 4 copies of this one. Then following it up with 2 copies of Koitsukai. 2 copies of Mechikabura the Broken Seal. 1 Jiren Survival of the Fittest. to deal with those turning the tides, and if your opponent is really adamant of ruining your day with Floodgate negates, 2 copies of Focus Breakthrough. So this is pretty much everything. I don't have a lot of info on the side deck, I basically have no info on it, but yeah, perhaps you can figure it out why some cards are here. But the deck itself, as you can see, it's pretty straightforward and it's super cool to see it. I thought this is gonna have some crazy tech in it, but this is just like the standard Green King Piccolo deck, just going to an event and taking all of the W's. Amazing. Congratulations. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below, will you be trying out this deck? If you're a green player, will you be giving this KP a go? Maybe if you're not a green player as well, will you be trying out this deck? Are you someone who's playing King Piccolo? Is this list similar to your list? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of your comments. I try to respond to everything. I love our little community. And guys, before you leave, hit that like and subscribe button. They really help us out a lot. Share this video, help us grow our community. We're super close to 2,000 subscribers and maybe we can hit that number very soon. This has been Damien from The Lookout and I'll see all of you in the next video.